In order to try and improve this situation with the suspension cable geometry, I think I am going to make a solid piece in here to make sure that the angle of these cables doesn't go directly from here to here, but it goes from here to about here-ish more. But I've actually run out of these little crimping things, so what I thought I might do is try and do it with just leaving these cables in place and just jamming something like this, well not this obviously, but like this, so that the cables have to go over the top of it to get to the other side. And this does three things that I like. One is that obviously it gets me the geometry a bit better, so the cable, the direction's going here instead of that way, so the angle doesn't get as shallow when the wheels go up as quickly. The other thing is that it puts a little bit of pre-tension, a little bit more pre-tension on the springs, so they're already sort of taking up more slack than they were before. And the third thing I like about this situation is that because there's something physical blocking this movement of the cable here, it stops. I'm having to put quite a bit of force on this now, but the end of the spring won't be able to get over this barrier, so that means that this wheel isn't going to be able to go bang all the way up here, because the propellers are here actually. I didn't mention that in my other video, but if this wheel was to go all the way up, it would probably hit the props. But now, so you can see that when it gets to there, the top of the spring is going to hit this, and it should form a hard limit at about that point there.
Alright, well it's time to try this plane on a unprepared airstrip, you might say. It's pretty rough gravel, although this part's sort of overgrown by grass a little bit. I'm not sure if that really helps much. And I was thinking that this might be a little bit tight. It's sort of 40 meters from side to side, although you can't use all of the 40 meters because you've got to clear the fence and everything, so it's probably about 25-ish that you could actually easily use. But from what I saw in Tokoroa last time, I think that should be plenty. And the suspension is now working to my liking. I'm just a little bit worried that the carbon fibre tail skid might wear down a little bit. Doesn't seem to be so far, but I haven't run it on the gravel a whole lot. I just did a little bit of testing on my driveway, and it pulls surprisingly well, even with the drag from the tail there. So there's no wind today, so I can take off in whichever direction I want. And today I wanted to try flying manually a bit more, because with the wind and only flying in fly-by-wire A last time, I didn't really get a good feel for how everything was working. But just this first time I will take off in fly-by-wire A. Alright. And I think I'll just slam the throttle. Oh. It seems a lot noisier now than it was last time. And the wheels, seems like the wheels did want to make it, wow, I'm having to cut the throttle down a lot to stop climbing. Okay, leveling out there, just on half throttle. Oh, it's beautiful. Probably can't see it there, can you? Nice. Yeah, I almost had to abort that because it was going, it wanted to curve around to the right on its wheels, so landings could be a bit dicey. Oh, look at that. Oh, the wheel on the left side is broken a bit. Not again. Let's see if we can get a better look at it here. Unfortunately I don't have Neil cam today, so you just have to look at it through my hat cam, which doesn't have a zoom. But you might be able to see that that left side wheel is pretty stuffed. Oh. Hopefully it's just the spring and not the actual aluminium plate that the wheel is mounted on. We're losing a bit of height here, so I think I do have to go up to a little over half throttle. Now it's going up. Okay, so I'm guessing about 52 to 53% throttle is where it's gonna not climb, if that makes sense. And just in fly-by-wire A still, because I'm a big wuss. But I have to switch to manual soon and give it a try. But apart from that wheel, everything is looking good. Okay, now we're in manual mode. Oh, it's very sensitive on roll. Yeah, manual mode is alright. Oops, lost a bit of height there. Right, so see if I can do a low flyby in manual mode without screwing anything up, and you'll be able to see this wheel that I'm talking about. Maybe. Oh, it looks like it's dangling. Oh man, that's really annoying, because one thing I wanted to practice today was landings and takeoffs. But with the wheel in this situation, I don't know if I want to. Right, let's try return to home. Climb up a bit, it's probably not high enough. And this is kind of what the return to launch loiter will do anyway, but let's try it. How high is it going to go? That high. Alright, I'm not very happy about this battery line beeping at me just there. Hey, where's the voltage? It's not showing. It's showing me signal strength, internal receiver voltage and the transmitter voltage, but before it was showing me the voltage from the bloody battery on there. What the hell? How did it change? Oh, whoa. Yeah, look at that. How did that happen? Oh, I see. So it's just my, this thing here, these blue clamps were not strong enough to hold the tube from slipping down a bit. So you can see it's supposed to be up there like that, right up here, but it's just slipped all the way back down.
So to try and prevent that problem happening, what I've done is put a cable that goes from here over the top and down here, so that should prevent the wheels from getting too close to each other. It doesn't actually prevent them from sort of both swinging one way, because it just sort of slides on this metal plate at the moment. There's nothing, it's not actually fixed here. The cable can slide across there. But I think because the springs are in the middle, sort of pulling everything into the center at the bottom, it should be okay.
Okay, so that should nicely solve my problem with the wheels completely folding under. But there's still a lot of cant, what do you call it? Like it's angled over a lot on that side and that side. I'm just going to try it again. I think it'll be mostly okay. That was less of a problem than the wheels completely folding. We're starting to get a little bit of wind now, so I will have to probably land from this direction as well next time. I think fly-by-wire A saved me last time because the wing would have hit the ground otherwise, but let's give it a shot. Manual mode. Actually, yeah, manual mode is a little bit more helpful maybe because it lets you pull up quicker instead of rolling along the ground for as long as I was doing in fly-by-wire A mode when I took off. Just do a practice approach in manual mode, just so that we can see how steady or otherwise it's going to be. Oh yeah, this is hard. Wow. Can you imagine imagine if I had to land just then, like I was running out of battery or something, I would have been screwed. So I think I will stick to fly-by-wire A for landings. I might try that again, but I'll try it with one click of flaps and see if it helps. Okay, one flap's down. Let's try this again. Oh wow, oh my goodness. Oh, that's hopeless. It was slower, but I wonder if it's just something around that hill there that ruins the wind. Like, just as it approaches at that point, it just seems to go crazy. Oh man, the pitch is all over the place. Alright, let's try this again. Oh man, this is hopeless. Wants to just sort of dip down all the time. Nah, I'm afraid I'm just going to have to do landings in auto level mode. Look at that, when I switch on auto level. Haha, way better. So the wind is coming directly from those trees there. So let's approach from that way. Down. Hey, that wasn't too bad. This tyre here wants to fall off. Oh man, that's not going to last long. Alright, so take off in manual mode, land in fly-by-wire A seems to be the way to go. Let's try this again. Manual mode. Yeah. Now fly-by-wire A for the rest of this flight, I think. I kind of feel like trying another landing and takeoff again already. Because what I'm going to try next is 2 batteries, which will make everything a bit heavier. So while I have it lighter with this battery, I'll try another landing here. A little fast. Okay, let's make that a touch and go. Ooh, that was rough on the landing gear. Unfortunately, it didn't descend down as quick as I thought it would, like it did last time, and it was heading for the edge of that drop off there. So I thought it might be wise just to keep it going. Oh, look at the wheels bending in again. Why? It shouldn't do that anymore. Ah, the wind's picking up. That'll help me. Oh, what? Hey, that shouldn't have. Oh, I see. Oh my god, this is getting annoying. So, yeah, rubber's completely gone on there. Might as well just throw the stupid thing away. Yeah, it's because this cable that's going over the top is not actually fixed there. So these wheels can sort of move together a bit still. So I guess I really need to have that fixed instead of just wrapping over the top. Thought I'd be able to get away with that. Okay, this battery's at half charge now, 15 volts, so probably not wise to try again, but I'm just going to try one more takeoff and landing, and we're rolling on the plywood only on the wheel now. But I don't think it'll make too much difference, hopefully. Go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it's too low. Oh, wasn't quite as good as the 1-2 before this. So both wheels have gone together over that way now. See that? Still needs quite a bit of work, that suspension, doesn't it? Okay, so on that last landing we broke the tail skid, so I've replaced it with a steel one, which is not going to break. It broke just here, obviously. So this puts a bit of weight on the tail, but that's okay because I have 2 batteries in there now which balances things out actually a little bit too much on the nose heavy side. So in this flight, I'm just curious to see how long it can fly for in a steady cruise with those 2 batteries. So not going to be doing any launches and landings because the landing gear is looking a bit sad. This plate actually bent right round like that, so I've just bent it back by hand, and yeah, I don't think it has much life left in it, to be honest. But anyway, let's see how long this can fly for with the 2 batteries. Ooh, much less sprightly takeoff. So that's the throttle there. Maybe you can see that. It's just a tad above half throttle. Alright, this is a bit boring. Let's try some lower down flybys. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, gliding. Okay, gliding is not that advisable, I think. Cool. It's still 55% throttle, 60 now. But that was with a bit of a dive, so that's why it was quick, and it's coming downwind. Let's do that again from this side. It won't be quite so fast. Well, the flying part is working very nicely. It's just the landing, just the undercarriage that's all the problems at the moment. Yeah, it's climbing and I'm not even really trying, so let me... 15.23 volts, and it's going up. I think it's just the wind maybe coming up here that's lifting it every now and then. Yeah, that's got to be almost a kilometre away and I can still see it easily. No, I don't think gliding's a good idea in general. It can do it, but it's not that good at it. There's lines there. And then there's lines there. What are those clouds called? Don't think I've ever seen those before quite like that. Oh, where's my plane? Oh, oh, it climbed a lot there. I think it's climbing again. Yeah, so it really needs to be just a touch over half throttle to keep it level. I'm really happy about that because that's all my calculations were sort of aimed at that that goal of having it cruise at half throttle. Is about 20 amps, and it's well within the range of the motors and the ESCs and everything. So that's really good. It's just this bloody undercarriage keeps pissing me off. Wow, it's way up there now, and I've just been flying, you know, hands off mostly on both sticks. So perhaps the fly-by-wire trim is actually up a little bit. Oh, side slipping a lot there. Seems like it's leaning back a fair bit, but it doesn't really... Doesn't really seem like it's about to stall or anything. Like, occasionally it's leaning back, that is, not all the time. Alright, 14.56, so this is probably a good time to stop, I think. Oh. Wow, that was way too fast. I wonder... Well, I didn't glide. I think the other times I landed, I did a little bit of gliding at almost zero throttle. Slowed it down quite nicely. But I think it would be alright. It's just the props I'm a little bit worried about there. No, props are okay. So that was very ungraceful, to say the least.
Okay, so that's going to do it for now. I probably won't be doing too much flying until I can sort out something a bit better with this undercarriage. But we managed to get through today with not too much damage. So just to look at the aftermath, the rubber fell off this one, well, and this one. Well, it will. Oh, and I forgot to show you this at the beginning of the video, like I probably should have. But I'll just keep everything in chronological order. So let's have a look at this now. Basically, I began to realise that I wasn't going to be able to get away without having this sort of a solid triangular thingy in the middle to make sure that the angle of pull was a bit lower down. And this does the job very nicely. Yes, I did cut that out by hand from my new favourite aluminium, and yes, it did take a long time, and yes, I'm starting to lose my love affair with that plate of aluminium at this point. But it does look quite nice and does the job quite well. And it's just held on at the back with another smaller piece like that, just to make sure that the cables don't slip off the back, obviously. And there's one going over the top. The one at the bottom wasn't really necessary. I'm not really sure why. Oh yeah, you sort of need 4 to stop the back plate from rocking a bit. I think that was the intention. Anyway, it works pretty well. So it's, what we've ended up with here is basically the same thing that you see on the typical the Super Cub sort of suspension system. The only difference is that instead of having the springs coming directly one end of the spring here and the other end here, or the cable, or the effect of the spring here and here, it's just sort of wrapping around and going to here, but the effect is about the same, I think, yeah. So if I was doing this again, obviously I'd probably put the spring here to here. The only reason I didn't do it that way is because, like I say, I thought I was running out of those little aluminium crimping things, but I actually have a few more. So maybe I could tidy this up a little bit before I fly it next time. Anyway, so as far as the rest of the damage goes, this nose piece here got a nice crumpling a few times. It's just that XPS foam, so it actually served as a crumple zone quite nicely, I think. Doesn't look too seriously damaged. These bits on here, by the way, are not ideal. They're just some of the spacers that we use on our quadcopters. But because they're aluminium, you can see they've already started getting cut into there. So they've lost all the slipperiness, which is, I think that was another reason why the landing gear wasn't able to like center itself again from the force of the springs, because there's too much friction here for the cable to slide across it nicely. And I do actually have some steel ones of these, but I forgot to change them over, and I'm not sure if I could find where I put them anyway. So I think I'll have to find them though if I keep it like this, because it needs to be nice and smooth and slippery here rather than having so much friction. And the tail piece broke off, so I replaced that with steel. I think I already mentioned that. And the only other thing that's broken was this little carbon fibre. I had these funny little bits stuck on there, and one of those broke off, and the only reason that broke off was because now that these cables are going over there, they the area where this top plate was going to slide on is now kind of obstructed by this mess here, so it wasn't able to be slid so easily, and I kind of pushed it and forced it and snapped that little carbon fibre strip. That's no big deal either. So overall I'm really happy with the way it flies, and I need a lot more practice at landing, I think, especially that last time. For some reason I just didn't think about the speed and just brought it in really fast, and that was no good. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get better at that with time. I don't think I have a whole lot more to say, so let's just finish the video here. And thanks for watching, etc, etc. See you later.